The quiet promise of a greater love, when lost or broken, can feel like the world has forgotten how to be kind. We sit in silence with the echoes of what once was, replaying moments, rewriting conversations, and wondering if we will ever be truly seen again. But the truth, which echoes through time and Stoic wisdom, is this: you will find love again, and not just any love, but the kind you've been quietly hoping for, praying for, and dreaming about. The Stoics were no strangers to pain, longing, or solitude. They lived in times of exile, betrayal, and political brutality, yet they spoke often of hope, patience, virtue, and the eternal flame of the human spirit. Marcus Aurelius, whose journals were never meant to be read, wrote, "Don't give up in disgust or impatience if you do not find exactly the right thing. There is something better that is destined for you." This is the message buried in every lonely night and unanswered prayer, that something better is still to come. The Stoic path is not one of indifference, but of endurance. It tells us that we must become the kind of person worthy of the love we dream of, even while we wait for it. This is not fantasy. This is virtue. This is strength. This is love that is earned, prepared for, and welcomed when the time is right. So in this video, let us journey through 10 powerful lessons, grounded in love, hope, faith, and patience, to help you understand this truth: you will love again, and it will be greater than before. Asterisk before we start going deeply into these lessons. First, we want to thank you very much for your unconditional kindness for liking, commenting on, and sharing our previous videos. That kindness makes us strong for producing new and meaningful videos. Secondly, we want to please you to continue to correct us in your comments, to like this video, to share it with your loved ones, and to support us by subscribing to this channel for more motivational and inspirational videos. Lesson 1. Love begins with the self you build. Before love can return, it must find you prepared. Not desperate, not wounded, but resilient, built from the ruins of what was lost into someone ready to receive what is true. Stoicism teaches us that the love we find begins not outside ourselves, but within. In the words of Epictetus, "No, man is free who is not master of himself." After heartbreak, it's tempting to look outward for validation, for comfort, for someone to fill the void. But the Stoics remind us, love is not about filling an emptiness, but sharing a fullness. You must first become whole. Love is not the balm for a broken identity. It is the reward for a cultivated soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Fill your thoughts, then, with strength, with dignity, with belief in your worth, not because someone else says so, but because you have chosen to believe it. You are not unlovable because someone failed to love you properly. That is their deficiency, not yours. As you rebuild, as you heal, focus not on what you lack, but what you are becoming. Let each day of solitude be your forge. As Seneca observed, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." The same is true for love, not how soon it returns, but how true it becomes. Your healing is not wasted time. It is sacred preparation. You are not waiting for love. You are becoming ready for it. The kind that sees you, respects you, grows with you, not rescues, not completes, but walks beside. The self you build today is the lover you will attract tomorrow. Lesson 2. Patience is proof that you believe in something greater. In a world driven by instant gratification, patience has become an act of rebellion, and in love, it is an act of faith. To wait, to remain open, to endure the silence after a deep hurt, is not weakness, it is belief. belief that something worthy still awaits. The Stoics didn't preach escapism, they taught endurance. They understood the long arc of time, the seasons of waiting. Seneca wrote, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a figure. If you tell me you want a fig, I answer you must give it time." The same is true of love. The love you dream about, the love that respects you, sees your soul, and mirrors your growth, is not born in haste. It does not emerge from brokenness grasping for comfort. It arises when two whole people, shaped by patience and pain, find each other ready. Patience, then, becomes more than waiting. It becomes discipline. It becomes the proof of your faith in life, in timing, in yourself. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well." To be patient is to trust that what is coming is better than what was lost. You are not forgotten. The universe does not withhold love to punish you. It withholds it to prepare you. Cato the Younger, known for his unwavering integrity, lived by principle even when it cost him everything. His patience was not passive, it was powerful. Your patience, too, is a declaration: I will not settle. I will not surrender. I will wait because I know my worth. Let your patience be loud. Let it speak for the love you know you deserve. Lesson 3. Pain is the precursor to clarity. We often think of pain as the enemy of love. But what if pain is the mentor that teaches us how to love better? Stoicism reveals that suffering is not senseless. It is the beginning of transformation. Pain strips away illusion. It humbles the ego. And in its silence, we finally hear what the heart truly needs. Epictetus reminded us, difficulties show a man to himself. Heartbreak is one of the greatest difficulties of all. It shows you what you tolerated that you shouldn't have. It reveals where you gave too much of yourself. And in time, it shows you what you will never again accept in the name of love. When someone leaves, they don't just create a void, they create space. That space, though lonely at first, becomes fertile ground. Clarity is born in the aftermath. Marcus Aurelius observed, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This insight empowers you to reframe your suffering, not as a punishment, but as purification. It burns off the false beliefs that you are only valuable if you're loved by someone else, or that love must hurt to be real. What remains is truth. You learn that love must never cost you your peace. You realize that love is not about chasing, but about growing into a person whose presence is worthy of what they seek. As Seneca wisely put it, it is part of the cure to wish to be cured. Pain clears the path. It prepares you for clarity, and clarity attracts love rooted in truth, not illusion. Lesson 4. Real love honors your highest self. You are not looking for a love that flatters your ego or feeds your fears. You are longing for the kind of love that recognizes and elevates your highest self. And the Stoics would remind you, before you receive such love, you must first become someone who honors that self within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Applied to love, this means don't seek someone to make you feel worthy. Become someone who already lives as though you are. Then, love will find you as its equal. Love is not about being rescued. It is about being respected. The Stoics valued virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, temperance, not because it made life easy, but because it made life meaningful. The love you are dreaming of must be rooted in that same soil. Seneca warned, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Real love improves you. It doesn't pull you into chaos or compromise. It speaks to the part of you that seeks discipline, calm, truth. And if love doesn't do that, it isn't love, it's attachment, addiction, or illusion. Zeno taught that we must live in agreement with nature, and part of your nature is your reason, your virtue, your divine spark. A partner who ignores that light or dims it to suit their comfort does not honor who you are becoming. When love returns, and it will, let it find you not as someone waiting to be chosen, but as someone who has already chosen their highest self. Let your boundaries be sacred. Let your standards be rooted in virtue, not vanity. For when you honor your soul, love that sees your soul will find you. Lesson 5. Faith is stronger than loneliness. Loneliness can feel like a storm, loud, endless, and impossible to escape. But in Stoic thought, we learn that loneliness is not the absence of love. It is the presence of longing without understanding. And to overcome that, we need something stronger than presence. We need faith. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." That strength is faith, not in circumstance, not in people, but in your ability to endure, to believe, and to continue forward when the world is quiet. Faith is not denial. It doesn't pretend you're not hurting, but it insists that what is unseen can still be real. Epictetus reminded his students, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In your waiting, embody patience. In your longing, embody hope. You become the vessel of the very love you are praying to receive. Loneliness has a way of lying to you. It tells you that you've been forgotten, that everyone else has love but you. That time has run out. But Stoic wisdom speaks louder. What upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about these things. Epictetus, it's not the aloneness that breaks you. It's the belief that it will never end. But it will end. Faith is stronger than the voice of loneliness. Faith says, this is not the end. This is the pause before the music begins again. And the melody will be richer because you endured the silence. So hold the line. Your heart has not been forsaken. It is being fortified. Asterisk asterisk, before we continue to enjoy our video, we want kindly remind you and please you to not hesitate to correct us in your comments, to like this video, to share it to your loved one, and to support us by subscribing to this channel for upcoming inspirational and motivational videos. Lesson 6. You attract what you are ready for. Love does not arrive when we wish for it. It arrives when we are ready for it. Often, we don't attract what we desire. We attract what we are. And the Stoics knew that the universe is not random. It is ordered by reason, and reason favors the prepared soul. Zeno of Citium taught that virtue is the only true good, and everything else, love included, should flow from it. So if love is to return to you, it will not come as chaos dressed in charm, but as clarity wrapped in patience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The loneliness, the heartbreak, the time spent alone, these are not obstacles. They are training. The pain is not a punishment. It's preparation. And the version of love you receive will mirror the version of yourself you've shaped through it all. You attract not just the person, but the dynamic. If you still live in fear, you may attract control. If you live in self-respect, you attract respect. If you live in hope, you attract possibility. Seneca stated, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." The same applies to love. It's not just about waiting. It's about preparing while you wait. Let every act of healing, reading, reflecting, and growing be your signal to the universe. I am becoming the one my future love deserves. When you are no longer ruled by the ghosts of your past, your future can finally speak. So keep building. Love is not avoiding you. It is waiting for the moment when you become fully aligned with the kind of love that lasts. Lessons even. Hope is the soul's anchor. When all else feels uncertain, hope remains. It is not naive optimism. It is the quiet anchor that holds the soul steady in stormy waters. And the Stoics, often misunderstood as cold or emotionless, deeply respected the power of hope, not as escapism, but as a rational commitment to trust in what is yet unseen. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage, and to love again, after being broken, after being abandoned, after being misunderstood, that is courage amplified. That is hope walking forward despite the past whispering." Be careful. Hope is not a passive wish. It is an active force. It says, "I believe that what I've been through is not the final word on what love will be for me." Epictetus reminded us, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." React with hope, and you begin to reclaim your power. Hope is what lets you prepare the home before the guest arrives. It's what lets you smile in the mirror even before love returns, because you know it will, and when it does, you'll be ready. As Cleanthes, the Stoic poet-philosopher, prayed, "Lead me, Zeus, and you too, destiny, wherever you have assigned me. I'll follow without hesitation." This is Stoic hope, not begging for outcomes, but walking boldly toward them with full trust that the journey has meaning. Let hope anchor you, not in fantasy, but in the noble truth that you are not finished, and neither is love. Lesson 8. Love requires courage, not comfort. True love doesn't live in the safe, the predictable, or the easy. It lives in the bold, the vulnerable, the brave. To love again after being hurt is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of immense courage. The Stoics never advocated for hiding from life. They urged us to face it with strength and dignity, especially when it cuts the deepest. Epictetus taught, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." Loving after loss is one of the greatest difficulties. It asks you to tear down walls you built for survival. It dares you to trust what once betrayed you. But that act of letting your heart breathe again is where glory lives. Courage is not the absence of fear. Marcus Aurelius put it clearly, "If it is endurable, then endure it." Stop complaining. Pain was real. The loss was real. But so is your resilience. Comfort may feel safer, but it rarely leads to growth. Stoicism teaches us that growth always requires choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. And in love, that means risking again. Cato the Younger, known for his defiant stand against tyranny, lived and died by principle. His courage wasn't about victory, it was about showing up for truth. Similarly, when you decide to open your heart again, not because it's safe, but because it's right, you are honoring your truest self. You're not looking for a perfect partner. You're preparing to be one, for someone who has also walked through fire and still chooses to love. Let your next love be not your retreat, but your revolution. Lesson 6. The love you give shapes the love you receive. Asterisk before love arrives again, it already begins with you. The kind of love you give to yourself, to others, even to the world in its quiet details, shapes the quality of love that eventually finds its way back to you. The Stoics believed in cause and effect, in sowing and reaping, and in building. A life of virtue that naturally invites what is noble and lasting. Seneca wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." In love, this means living with an open heart, even while it heals. Every small act of compassion is a signal to the universe. I am ready to receive what I also give. You cannot expect a deep, understanding, faithful love while living in bitterness, resentment, or fear. Stoicism calls us to examine the nature of our own actions, because as Marcus Aurelius reminded, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. How do you treat yourself in your waiting? With criticism or with care? What energy do you send to others? Withholding or offering? The answers matter, because the love you are dreaming of is watching, and it will recognize you by your readiness. Musonius Rufus, who often emphasized moral education, believed that we should act according to reason and goodness, not because of what others do, but because it is right. Apply that to your love life. You love patiently, kindly, truthfully, not because someone earned it, but because that is who you are. And in time, that same kind of love will return to you, not by chance, but by echo. Lesson 10. You will love again because you were made to love. Love is not a chapter that ends. It is the essence of your being. You were made to love, not just romantically, but deeply, meaningfully, soulfully. The Stoics, though often thought of as austere, understood that our capacity to love is part of what makes us human, rational, and divine. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Even after heartbreak, even after silence, even after loss, you will love again. Not because time heals all, but because you choose to heal, to grow, to risk again, to believe again." Epictetus reminds us, no great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a figure. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. So it is with love. Your next love is not delayed, it is ripening. Seneca said, "Love in its essence is spiritual fire. This fire may have flickered, but it never went out. It's been quietly preparing you, refining you, so that when love comes again, it finds a home in you, not a wreckage." You will love again, not as the broken person trying to be healed by another, but as the healed soul offering a love deeper than before, because you were made to love. You were made to receive it. And now, you are finally ready. Conclusion: love returns to the patient, and the brave you will find love again. Not the shadow of what once was, but the full radiance of what your soul was always meant to receive. This love will not rush you, wound you, or confuse you. It will recognize the quiet work you've done in the dark, the healing, the rebuilding, the hoping against hope. The Stoics have walked with us through this journey, not to make us numb, but to make us strong. From Marcus Aurelius' strength in solitude to Epictetus' call for discipline, from Seneca's wisdom on endurance to Cleanthes' humble prayers, they all point to one truth. You are not powerless. Even in heartbreak, you have endured. You have grown. You have become someone worthy of the very love you once dreamed of, and now, that love is becoming worthy of you. So be patient. Be steady. Be open. Love is returning, and this time, it will stay, not because you chased it, but because you became the kind of soul that love was always meant to find. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel. Thank you very much for your unconditional support. God continue to bless you. See you next.